Beneath the structured surface of Victorian life lay aspects of daily life that were far less comfortable. Not always dramatic, but constant, and often unavoidable.
Welcome to Literally Victorian with your host, Matthew Lee Hanson.
Hello and welcome once again to the channel. It's lovely to have you all here once again. Now, have you been enjoying the album I posted last week? Some of you have, I've noticed. I hope you're enjoying it. If you haven't heard it, then pop back and have a look, because if you love classical music, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Now, back to business. To understand the Victorian world fully, it is worth looking not only at what defined it, but what made it difficult to live within. For many, discomfort began with the environment itself. Industrial expansion brought growth, but alongside that came pollution. The air in the cities could be thick with smoke. Factories, coal fires, and crowded streets combined to create conditions that were difficult to escape. Clean air was never guaranteed, and neither was clean water. Before modern sanitation systems were fully established, waste often remained close to where people lived. The result was not always visible, but it was present, and it shaped daily life. Cleanliness was valued, but achieving it was not always simple. Regular bathing, as we understand it today, was not common for everyone. Access to clean water varied as facilities were limited. For some, maintaining hygiene required an effort that could not always be sustained, and so discomfort was not always temporary. It could be ongoing. Space was not guaranteed. But in the growing cities, many lived in overcrowded housing. Rooms were shared. Privacy was limited. Ventilation was poor. Light was not always sufficient either, and within these confined spaces, daily life continued. Work, rest, and routine all taking place within the same environment. Food was central to that daily life, but its quality and reliability varied. For some, meals were regular and sufficient. For others, they were not. Preservation methods were limited. Freshness could not always be ensured, and in some cases, food was altered or diluted before sale. Not always visibly, but often enough to create an uncertainty. Work was not always comfortable either. For many, it was physically demanding. Long hours, repetitive tasks, and limited rest. In factories, conditions could be restrictive. In other trades, they could be exposed. The weather, risk, and strain were part of the experience. And for those who worked at sea, the environment itself was in constant motion. There was little separation between work and discomfort. But not all the discomfort was physical. Victorian society placed a strong emphasis on behaviour, on presentation, on the way a person conducted themselves in public and in private. Expectations were clear, but not always easy to meet. To speak correctly, to act appropriately, to maintain appearance. These were not optional. They were part of how a person was judged, and the pressure to meet them could be constant. There were also aspects of life that could not be openly discussed, subjects that remained unspoken, not because they did not exist, but because they were expected to remain private. This created a form of distance between experience and expression. People understood more than they said, and carried certain realities without direct acknowledgement. What is perhaps most striking is not any single difficulty, but the accumulation of them. Small discomforts repeated day after day, conditions that were not unusual but expected. And over time, these became part of the background. The Victorian age was not defined only by its achievements, but by the conditions in which people lived. Some of those conditions were impressive, but others were not. And many were simply difficult. Not in ways that always stand out, but in ways that shaped everyday life. And it is within those quieter details that a fuller picture begins to emerge. Not only of the era itself, but of what it meant to live within it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and it looks like you're all enjoying the music I uploaded the other day, which pleases me greatly because there are some great tunes to be heard. So until next time, farewell for now.